Hey there, fellow adventurers and future retirees. Welcome back to the channel where we help you live your best life, financially and beyond. Today's video is an absolute game changer for anyone thinking about retiring and traveling. But before you go packing your bags, let's talk about a question that might be keeping you up at night. Should I long-term rent my home or short-term rent it while I travel? Yep, we're going there. A lot of retirees are asking themselves this very question. And while the idea of globe-trotting sounds amazing, figuring out what to do with your house back home can be a headache, right? Should you rent it out to long-term tenants? Or should you take the plunge into the world of Airbnb and short-term rentals? But before we jump into that, do me a quick favor. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring that notification bell. You'll want to stay tuned for this one. It's going to save you a ton of stress down the road. And hey, share this video with your fellow retirees who are ready to hit the road. Let's help everyone out together. All right, let's start with the long-term rent option. So you've made the decision, you're ready to pack your bags and hit the open road, but your house is just sitting there. The idea of renting it out long-term might seem like a great way to generate some passive income while you're off exploring the world. But what's the real deal with long-term rentals? Well, here's the scoop. With a long-term rental, you're basically putting your house in the hands of someone who will sign a lease for 12 months or more. This means you don't have to worry about finding new tenants every few weeks or months. You set it, forget it, and the rent checks start rolling in. Sounds pretty sweet, right? But here's the kicker. There's a little more stability with long-term rentals. Your tenants will pay you a fixed amount each month, which means you know exactly what to expect in terms of income. This makes it easier for you to plan your travels and manage your finances while you're away. Think of it like having a set and forget investment. You put it in place and it keeps working for you as you sip margaritas on a beach in Bali. Just don't forget to check in with your tenants every once in a while to make sure everything is running smoothly. Another perk? Long-term tenants typically treat the property with a little more care and attention. They live there for a longer period, so they're more likely to take better care of it compared to someone who's only staying for a short time. Of course, this also means you're less likely to have frequent repairs or damage caused by constant turnover. But hey, don't get too comfy. Just because it's long-term doesn't mean you're totally off the hook. You'll still need to manage the property either by hiring a property manager or doing it yourself remotely. So, while you're gallivanting around Europe, you might be handling some maintenance requests. Not as fun as seeing the Eiffel Tower, right? Now let's talk about the other side of the coin, the short-term rental game. This is where the magic happens for some retirees who want to make their home a money-making machine while they're traveling the world. Imagine this, you're in Japan, sipping green tea in Kyoto, and guess what? You're also getting paid every time someone stays in your house via Airbnb or Vrbo. Talk about having your cake and eating it too. Short-term rentals, like through Airbnb, allow you to rent out your home for a few days or weeks at a time. You're not locking yourself into a 12-month lease. You're opening your door to travelers from around the world. This can be extremely profitable, especially if your house is in a desirable location. Let's be honest, who wouldn't want to be the cool retiree who offers up their cozy home for vacationers? It's like a whole new side hustle that allows you to maximize your property's earning potential. If you live in a city or vacation hotspot, you can make some serious cash while you're away. But hold your horses. There's a big difference when it comes to the work involved. Short-term rentals are hands-on. You're going to need to handle bookings, cleaning, guest communication, and repairs much more frequently. And remember, guests don't always treat your place like they would their own home. That means you could run into more issues with things like damage or even a no-show guest. Plus, let's not forget the whole cleaning crew situation. I don't know about you, but I don't want to spend my retirement scrubbing toilets after someone's bachelor party. You can hire a cleaning service, of course, but that's an added expense. All these extra tasks mean more work and potentially more stress. So it's definitely something to consider before jumping in. All right, let's break it down and compare these two options side by side. Both have their pros and cons, and the best choice really depends on what kind of lifestyle you want to live in retirement. On one hand, long-term rentals give you more stability. You can rely on your rent checks every month, and there's usually less hassle with property management. You don't have to worry about cleaning between guests or trying to find someone to book your property. Plus, tenants usually sign a lease for a year, meaning you can rest easy knowing your property is spoken for. On the other hand, short-term rentals can give you higher income potential, especially if your home is in a prime location. If you live in a place that attracts tourists, you could earn significantly more per night than you would in a long-term rental. But with that extra income comes extra work. You'll need to keep the place clean, handle bookings, and deal with guests. Plus, the turnover can lead to more wear and tear on the property. And let's talk taxes. If you go the short-term rental route, you may have to deal with more complex tax laws. Some places have additional taxes on short-term rental income. And if you make a lot of money, you might have to pay higher taxes on your earnings. So, if you're making cash on the side, make sure you've got your tax situation figured out. Also, don't forget the local laws. Some cities have started cracking down on short-term rentals and putting restrictions in place. You could find yourself suddenly unable to rent out your property for short stays if your city has decided to implement stricter rules. So which one's the best option for you? The answer really depends on your goals for retirement. If you're looking for steady, predictable income and you want to minimize your workload while you travel, then long-term rentals are probably the way to go. On the other hand, if you're okay with some extra work and you want the chance to earn more while living the dream of being a global wanderer, then short-term rentals might be the ticket. Of course, there are always hybrids. Some people do a bit of both. Maybe you long-term rent part of your home and use the other part for short-term guests when you're away. It's all about finding the right balance for your lifestyle. All right, it's time to hear from you. Which option would you choose? Long-term renting or short-term renting? Or maybe a little bit of both? Let us know in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with anyone who's thinking of retiring and traveling soon. We're all about helping you make the best financial choices for your retirement. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and remember, the world is waiting for you, so get out there and live your best retirement life. I'll see you in the next video. Happy travels.